What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the CYPRX Advanced YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube page. In today's video breakdown, we have one of our profitable students, Ezra Bram, breaking down price action from his perspective, giving you guys some technical analysis gems. Take what you need, and what you don't need, go ahead and disband. Again, I told you guys multiple times that we are going to start allowing some of the CYPRX profitable students to start uploading material to the CYPRX YouTube to show you guys that as a team, we are building, we are developing, we are growing. So make sure that you guys pay attention to that in the future. You guys are going to start seeing more students, more interviews with profitable students from the trading community here on the YouTube page. This is not a YouTube page where it's just about me as the mentor here at CYPRX. We are a community, a team that is growing, and we are going to consistently show the world time and time again. Blessings to you guys all. Make sure that you guys smash that thumbs up button. Give Ezra the respect that you would give me when listening to his technical analysis breakdown. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video breakdown. Without further ado, here's Ezra with his technical analysis breakdown.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another CYPRX YouTube video exclusive. In today's video, I'll be breaking down a super simple approach to any market involving the 1 hour time frame. This goes for crypto, commodities, indices, Forex, any market involving, again, Forex, crypto, commodities. This approach will do you wonders. Not financial advice, but from personal experience and from me showing this to students in our advanced CYPRX mentorship, it has done wonders for their trading. It has done wonders for my trading. Let's get straight into this video. All right, guys, jumping right into this, let's open up TradingView real quick. We need three things to really make this approach to the market as simple as possible. We need a higher time frame bias, preferably from the daily and the 4 hour. We need a lower time frame momentum shift, which just means a shift in trend. And then we need the trending lower time frame, okay, to be occurring. We need the lower time frame to be trending for this to work. So let's just go ahead and go on the daily time frame and see where would our agenda be for this markup I have here. It's going to be this area of consolidation followed by this expansion move. So we have our low and our high. Now we see the market pulled back. Let me rewind price here. Okay, we have our higher time frame agenda on the daily time frame. Price consolidated, expanded, and now we are pulling back. If we fail to close below this low to the left, we are going to go to the lower time frame and look for a shift in momentum, a shift in trend. Because if we go to the lower time frame, we identified the market was making what? Lower highs and lower lows, giving multiple opportunities to sell based off of structure. Now we can see on the lower time frame, the 1 hour time frame, what is the market doing here? The market is breaking structure, shifting momentum. Now we have step 2. Now, step 3, we can see that the market is consistently trending now to the upside. We have created a kind of bottoming out pattern here. This is accumulation. The market is done selling. It is getting ready to just go into complete bullish order flow. So now, all we have to identify is every down move that created a break of structure. It is that simple. What I'm using here is structure and basic institutional principles. So, moving on. Look at how the market here with this down move comes in, taps it, retests it, and then does what? Shows that buyers have the strong hand in the market. So we have our weak hand to strong hand transfer. And now we need to refine the last down move before the actual break of this structure. So we have weak hand, strong hand, and then we have the fractal refined weak hand where the strong hand really broke structure. That's making the trend continue. What is price doing here? Creating a high and higher low. We have a low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And instead of waiting for those unrealistic retracements into imbalances and order blocks that just don't work, we are really identifying where the last down move before that break of structure was. This is the last logical low where price is probably going to respect to continue higher. So moving on. Now we see the market repeating the same process. We have a down move. This is a higher low, higher high, higher high here. We are looking for what? Price to come in and tap, mitigate this zone. Let's see if the market gives us that pullback. It does. Price taps into there. And now, in this market, if you're looking at price, most traders find themselves seeing price action like this and they don't know what to do. They don't know if we're going to sell from this order block. They don't know. And again, I don't trade order blocks. We don't teach order blocks at CYPRX. We don't even teach supply and demand. Even though this is very similar to supply and demand concepts, this is not what we teach. This is just a very simple, I'm not going to say watered down because I will never teach you guys watered down information. I will always give you the best possible form of what we teach to our CYPRX advanced students in a way that doesn't violate their right to what they paid for with their mentorship, but still gives you guys information that's valuable that you can apply to trading and improve, see results, and of course progress in your journey as a trader. So most of the time traders will be like, I don't know if it's going to buy from this order block, or if it's going to sell from here, or if it's going to do this, or all these things that they're confused about, when all you have to do is ask yourself, who's weak in the market, who's strong? Who's weak in the market, who's strong? Who's weak, failed to close below this low? We are simply mitigating out of this structure block right here. And who just showed us, again, this is why focusing on current price action is the most important thing you can do when you are in the process of doing technical analysis to possibly find an opportunity in the market. What is current price action telling us? Current price action is telling us that sellers stepped in, they failed to take out the last area where buyers showed their strong hand, and instead of sellers taking out buyers and creating a strong hand move in the market, what sellers did was get overtaken by buyers, and now this bearish momentum has been matched with bullish momentum. And now we can identify, once we get a close above, for me it's going to be the close above the body of the candlestick right here. This down move initiated here, and what do? We closed above it with this candlestick right here. So with that being identified, this last down move before this up move is the last area. You could call it the last point of demand, the last point of price needing to be mitigated, whatever you want to call it. This is the last area where the market sold to buy to actually break structure. We already set the higher low. We need to see the trend continue. And most traders are, again, waiting for those unrealistic order block taps, waiting for those unrealistic imbalance fills. Okay, because I know on the lower time frame here, there's probably an imbalance. If we look, again, dumb smart money traders are over here trying to trade these unrealistic imbalance fills, and they're never getting entered into the market. And that's frustrating. I understand their struggle, but this is not how you trade the markets profitably. You guys need to always pay attention to what the market's telling you. Market's telling you that these sellers right here are weak and these buyers in the market are strong. And we have to identify, where was the last point where sellers were overtaken by buyers? It was this down move right here. So that is why I selected that structure block on the 1 hour time frame as a possible area of continuation. Following that logic, here is the same thing. If you guys can just understand these two setups that I'm showing you and put it to the test, back testing, put it to the test, forward testing, and you're going to see that 9 times out of 10, normal setups that you would have been looking at expecting some kind of insane pullback, expecting price to do this, and then you getting left out of the market and you experiencing FOMO, you're going to find yourself on the right side of the market more times than you did before, trying to trade these ridiculous imbalance fills that never get filled. Imbalances are important in the market, and they're important things to pay attention to, but most of the time you are trading structure the wrong way. You are trading structure incorrectly, and you are trading order blocks which just don't work. Okay, this order block is not going to work because that's not how market makers or how the market moves, how structure works. So again, this is a weak hand to strong hand transfer. We have the last weak hand before the strong hand that broke structure, which is right here, again in the form of this structure block right here. Now we have the same thing happening here. Price comes, sweeps liquidity, bears get overtaken by bulls. And then instead of you being lost in the market, instead of you trying to call tops and call bottoms, right, trying to sell this top thinking that, oh, this is somehow an order block that's going to hold or whatever, instead of trying to call bottoms by trying to get in on unrealistic mitigation fills or unrealistic order block taps and getting left out of the market, panic buying, getting FOMO, all of these things, experiencing greed, experiencing the feeling of being left out. Instead of that, you can approach the market logically and say, hey, since these bears got completely invalidated by these bulls, it would make sense to identify the last place where bears put up a fight and got overtaken before the break of structure, which is, like I put right here, going to be this structure block. And from here, what does the market do? Creates a new high, creates a new expansion leg. Beautiful. Now moving on to this last setup, I'm going to go to the lower time frame and just show you guys another fractal example of what I'm talking about. Again, here for me, there is no setup. This is not a valid expansion leg for me. A lot of people would have tried to trade this order block. That's cool. But for me personally, that is not going to be something that over a long period of time will really give you consistent entries on the right side of the market. What I'm looking for is the market needs to already have shown the direction it wants to go. I'm buying when price has already been buying for some time. I'm buying halfway up through an uptrend. And a lot of people get so confused and they get so caught up in buying low and selling high and doing all these things when really they just need to wait for the market to tell them exactly what it wants to do and trade with the trend. Again, for me, there's still no trade because we have this high and this low. There's no trade. Now, pay attention to this high and pay attention to the fact that this is what we can, because again, this is not where the trend is going to reverse. We've been showing, the market's been showing us that bears are weak and bulls are strong. Bears are weak, bulls are strong. All right, so we can't just sit here and start flip-flopping on the trend thinking that this is where price is going to sell and this is where price is going to dump and this is where there needs to be a pullback, blah, 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 etc., etc. We need to be realistic. We need to pay attention to what price is doing right now, and we need to react to current price action. So continuing with this setup right here, check this out. The market did what? Broke structure, showed that bears are not in control in the form of this down move, showing weak hand to strong hand transfers in the market. And now what do we have here? We have the last area where the weak hand was overtaken by the strong hand transfer of the overall trend. And now this is a structure block that we can look for price to come retrace into to get a possible entry to buy. Now I'm going to go to the lower time frame. Let's check out the 15-minute. Now let's see what the market does when we replay price. Keep in mind that here's an imbalance now. Now there's an actual valid imbalance to pay attention to that correlates with a point of interest. Instead of expecting price to come down here and fill this little bit of imbalance here, or, you know, tap this order block here, this small little order block right here, that's ridiculous. That's unrealistic, and it's going to lead you to chase the market. Right here, what is the market doing? It's building sellers, building sellers, building sellers. Why? Because people are trying to call tops. They're trying to call tops. When we know that the market is doing what? It's showing us that bears are not strong and bulls are strong. And this is the last area where bears showed their weakness and bulls showed their strength. So continuing, let's see again what we can get from the market here. Boom, the price of GJ taps into this area of interest. We get a tap into a structure block. What does the market do? It then gives us a down move before an up move. Bears are weak, bulls are strong. So you could have entered based off of this, and then you could have entered based off of this right here. Let's see again what the market does. Market taps into this, gives you a trade, goes up. Let's keep watching. Now, what does the market do here? Guys, this is crazy. Check this out. We have bears in the market, bulls showing their strong hand. We have the last area where bears showed their weak hand before bulls took over and broke structure to the left in the form of this area. We come in, tap it, give another buy opportunity. This is insane. If you can follow price fractally and pay attention to everything I just laid out in this video and back test it, forward test it, you guys will see an extreme shift in how you trade.